Good evening and welcome to our first speaker meeting of our club, Rotary Club of Chennai Sapphires. And this topic we have chosen just about 2 weeks before when we were discussing about the sleep wellness. The experts in India, the medicinal practitioners, they are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So they are describing India is facing the silent epidemic. That is, India is the second most sleep deprivative country, just following Japan. More than 59% of Indians are facing less than 6 hours of sleep, which is uninterrupted. And nearly 50% of adults in India are sleeping past the midnight, and which is becoming a cultural trend and which is dangerous for our country. So when we were discussing this topic, Rotarian Lata from our club, she immediately volunteered to have this session by Dr. Harikrishnan, a renowned Ayurvedic practitioner. And that's how this topic and this first speaker meeting have started, and we are very happy to have you all here along with Madam's office. And to begin this session, I request Dr. Rotarian Irlandi, IFS, former IFS officer, to call our President Rotarian M.Harikrishnan. I request the Rotary manager to give few words. I request the meeting to come for the order.
மாலை வணக்கம். இந்த ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. நம்ம பெசன்ட் நகர் கிளப்லேருந்து வந்திருக்காங்க. அவங்களுக்கு இப்போ கூப்பிட்டாங்க வந்தேனாக்க கேட்டு நான் போட்டுருந்தேன் மெசேஜஸ். மை ஃப்ரெண்ட் ராதா சீதாராமன், அவர் இன்டர்வியூ கிளப் ஆஃப் மல்வி சரவணன், ஆல் அதர் பீப்புள் ஃப்ரம் அதர் ஏன் எல்லாம் வந்து இது ஒரு பெரிய முக்கியமானது. படுக்கணும் தூங்கணும் அந்த மாதிரிலாம் கிடையாது. இப்போ படுத்த நமக்கு சிந்தனைகள்லாம் வருது. அதுக்கு ஒரு 12 மணி ஆயிடுது. திருப்பி காலையில் எழுதுக்கும் போது திருப்பி தூக்கம் ஜாஸ்தியாக வந்துடுது இல்லையா? அதனால் அந்த இதுக்காண்டி இது ரொம்ப நாளாக அவங்க சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. ஸோ வெரி குட், இது எப்படியாவது கூப்பிடலாம் அப்படின்னாங்க. இவனுக்கும் ரொம்ப ஆசை, எங்கள் யோகேஷுக்கு வந்து எப்படியா அந்த இவங்களை ஹரிகிருஷ்ணனை கூப்பிட்டு பேச வச்சிருக்கோம் அப்படின்னு. அந்த இதுக்காண்ட இப்போ ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கோம். இது க்ரௌடு இப்போ வந்துட்டே இருப்பாங்க. இந்த க்ரௌடு இல்லையே பயந்துடாதீங்க, நிறைய பேர் வர போகிறாங்க. ஸோ கொஞ்சம் ஒரு 15-20 மினிட்ஸில் வந்துடுவாங்க. தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் ஃபார் த பேஷன்ஸ். இவ்வளோ நேரம் இருந்ததுக்கு இப்போ ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கோம். தேங்க்யூ.
Thank you. Few words from Rotarian Lata. As before I introduce the speaker, just few words.
Good evening, everyone. I am thrilled to welcome Dr. Harikrishnan, our highly respected member of our team at Heavenly Private Limited, to talk about today's topic of sleep. So, I would like to see, as a renowned expert in his field. Actually, he is a key formulator behind our medicines. And his insights is always invaluable to our organization and also his society as well. Thank you so much. I welcome Dr. Harikrishnan.
I have a big history when I research about him, but in the interest of time, I'll just give a very quick brief before we hand over the session to him. Dr. M.Harikrishnan is an MD, Ayurveda physician at Sri Radhashamla Ayush Vaidyashila, and Head of the Product Development and Heavenly Fuel Private Limited in Chennai. He has a clinical experience in treating chronic joint disorders, skin diseases, allergies, stress, insomnia, gastric disorders, and gynecological disorder since more than 15 years. He did his UG from Jayantiya Saraswati Ayurveda College, Chennai, and he did PG, MD from Trivandrum Government Ayurveda Medical College through government efforts. He is a disciple of Dr. L. Mahadevan, a famous personality in Ayurveda who is from Kanyakumari. He currently heads the clinical team of Rajashamya's Ayurveda Vaidyashla Besant Nagar, Chennai, and is also the research head of Heavenly Fuel Private Limited, a pioneer company manufacturing Ayurvedic medicines in Chennai. He was a noted professor in many colleges for about 10 years before he completely devoted himself into clinical practice. He is a consultant in product formulations, and his research carried out in chronic kidney disease, female subfertility, vertigo, arthritis, vascular headaches, etc. And the list goes on and on and on. So, in the interest of time, I request Dr. M.Harikrishnan to take over the session.
So, good evening, everyone. I also thank the Rotary Club of Chennai Affairs for making your presence here and giving us an opportunity to talk about how Ayurveda can contribute for better sleep. And I also thank Lata Ma'am, our MD, for arranging this program, and also for giving the opportunity to contribute something for Ayurveda through Heavenly Fuel Private Limited and Sri Radhashamla Ayush Vaidyashla. And I just want to ask one question. For how many of you sleep is the problem? You have sleep problem. For how many of you sleeping is the problem? Because what we are going to see here is about how we can improve our sleep. There can be very few people who are sleeping too much also. But since seeing you all, I feel the first one is very much applicable to this audience. And why we talk about sleep, he has given a very good introduction by giving the statistics and how important sleep has been in terms of affecting the community at large. How many people are affected by very poor quality sleep. In Ayurvedic science, we say there are 3 pillars in Ayurveda: food, sleep, and physical activity. So these 3 pillars are mutually contributing. And why we are talking about sleep? Because everyone knows stress is the cause for sleep loss. Everyone knows screen time, digital, coming out of digital space is very important for improving sleep. All that is fine. But still, people always have this notion that if they have a digestive disturbance, they immediately point fingers at the food they ate. They don't think about other aspects. Even sleep can also impact your digestive disturbance if sleep is not good. Welcome, sir. It might be audible, but this is throat issue, so I'm not able to. Yeah. Moreover, the recording is also going on, so mic is required. Sorry. So, apart from digestive issues, immunity will also be affected if sleep is not proper. We saw so many people getting affected during the COVID time. So, if we had taken the history, welcome, sir. So, during COVID, there was a lot of impact on terms of whether it is economical or health-wise. But what we could find was sleep issue was very common among people, especially from middle age to old age. That was one of the important points which was taken in the history, and that was found to be much relevant at that time. So we can have so many examples, but before proceeding further, I want to make sure that what I present today now is helpful for you to sleep at the right time, back home or wherever you are, and not here. Right. So what is happiness? We know unless a person is getting good sleep, happiness is not ensured.
Keep the mic away, maybe
Clarity will be better. Is it now okay? So happiness, this is very much relevant. All of us would have experienced this, right? So we wake up in the morning. Maybe sometimes we may wake up early, and we find that still there is some time left to begin the day. Say it's just 3:30 in the morning, and we will usually wake up at 5:30 or 6 or so, and we'll be very happy to know that still we have time to get sleep. If sleep is good, if people are good at sleep, then they will have this happiness. But there are so many people who still have this much time to cross over and begin the day, and they will be feeling very much uncomfortable to go through that time. So that is also there. But this quote is very much about happiness is waking up, looking at the clock, and finding that you still have 2 hours to sleep. Said by Charles M. Schulz. Sleep matters, as I said before, not just for happiness, immunity, digestive health, and also creativity. You know, if you just observe, if you just hear about people who are so creative, you'll find that they will have very good sleep quality. You know, that actually speaks for a better future for them, and that thinking capacity enhances. They don't do it voluntarily. Creativity is something that is spontaneous, and that happens when there is spontaneous sleep. Right. Now, before going into further details, we are concerned about our sleeping space, how it should be. Right? We would have seen when we attended marriage functions. You know, there will be a big hall, there will be a lot of noise, all lights will be on at night, but still we will be getting very good sleep there, unless we are talking. When we decide that we want to sleep, we will sleep so well that in spite of all the noise and brightness around. But when we are at home, there's a calm space, we try to make all arrangements to give a very good conducive environment for sleep, but still we won't be able to sleep. We will choose the right paint for the room. We all find these days, by default, all companies, promoters will give light blue or greyish tinge to the paint when they paint the bedroom. So color is a very important regarding sleep, and that's the only reason why there is restriction for use of screen. Screen time should be stopped at least 1.5 hours before sleep, so that the eyes, the nerves that supply the eyes, all they go into the resting mode, and they are preparing for quality rest time. So these are other factors which are hurting our sleep, or which are reducing the quality of sleep at least. What are they? So we should not sleep at different times every day. No, we may have different commitments, but let us make a point that we don't stay awake after 10:45 or 11. That is the maximum time. For elders, it's even much earlier. For children, it's much earlier. But when we are middle aged, we all are prompted. We will say to ourselves, "This is the right age to work. Let us run. Let us take this in future. Let us go in search of peace and happiness in old age. Let us do all the stretching right now." That's not the right way to go about it. Only if we have a healthy middle age, we will have a graceful old age. those who are already in old age, you may have the luxury of choosing your time to sleep, but still you will not be getting the sleep. And we have some solution for that. And towards the end of the program, we'll explain what we can do about it. The reasons we can't sleep at night are usually the same reasons we don't truly live during the day. So it's not that only the factors related to night are the reason for loss of sleep. So what we do during the daytime, that is going to impact the quality of sleep at night. Now here we may have to think about some other factors. We all think only the mind is playing a role in deciding the quality of sleep. That's not the case. We should classify it into two. We know that. We know that, but we don't recollect it. We don't recollect that the body is also a reason for deciding the quality of sleep. Suppose a person is suffering from severe esophageal reflex problem, especially people who have hiatus hernia. There is something called hernia. This hernia, what happens? The diaphragm is a muscle. When it has to go to relax mode once the air is built out. So in that case, what happens? Because of some structural change, the acid will start, instead of being in the stomach, upper part of the stomach, it starts going upwards. So for them, they find it really hard. Whatever direction, they turn to the left, they turn to the right, they are not able to sleep. Though they wanted good rest, they are not able to. So that's an example. There are so many other factors. During the day, if a person is in some occupation or some activity on a consistent basis, every day he is exposed to too much of sunlight and heat, that can affect the quality of sleep. It can even reduce the duration of sleep to 0. That much heat can impact. And people who are not taking food properly. We all are woken up at night when we feel hungry, we can't sleep further. And we have also seen patients who say, I don't eat much, but even if I eat a bowl of rice, immediately after that meal time, I go to sleep. I am in sleep mode for 15 minutes, and only then I start getting active slowly. So that is also possible. So this is something which is related to the digestive system. We say, whether you have learned about it or not, there are 5 types of Vayu, Samana, Jnana, something like that. And that Samana Vayu should be in healthy mode to decide the impact of digestion and its implication on the mind, the state of alertness in the mind. Only if the mind goes into rest mode, the person will get sleep. And that rest mode is also impacted by this digestion, which is also determined by the Samana. And there is another important thing to be discussed here, the choice of food. People, they take some particular taste more than the other tastes. Most of us, either we will be fans of sweets, or most of us will be fans of spicy food stuff. In this regard, people who are really fond of spicy food stuff, sour food items, sour in the sense taking too much of tomato-based recipes, tamarind-based recipes, and then spicy food, dry, deep-fried food. If they do it, if that outweighs the major chunk of the food we take every day on a regular basis, that can bring down the sleep. So that should be kept in mind. And this sparkle, people who take sparkle regularly, that is poor, that is, we say, astringent taste. So that if people are habituated to taking sparkle, they will also lose sleep. And then we have these people who are on this dieting principle, people who are especially diabetic. We find diabetic patients more often complaining of sleep loss. And there is the converse also. People who lose sleep, they are very stressed up and they don't have good quality sleep, they get high levels of glucose, and we find them also showing symptoms of lot of glucose in the urine. Glucose will go about 2 plus. Why these people go into sleep loss mode? We find that they try some home remedies. They try to take this power cup, bitter gourd juice on a regular basis. and then they may include more of stomach and recipes. Though most of us are not very fond of bitter taste, but getting into this forceful mode of taking such food items for the sake of better diabetes control or whatever reason, they will also lose sleep. So try to reduce the proportion of such food items less than usual. Make it less than usual, especially if you are not getting good sleep. Sleep is an investment in the energy you need to be effective tomorrow. That's a very important quote from Tom Rotary. So, we have seen this. We have heard about people who they may prepare well for exams, children and people who are getting into competitive exam mode, or people who are into a very competitive work environment. They have to achieve targets. They have to stay awake during night. But during the day, their productivity comes down, their concentration level comes down. They feel irritated. They are irritated. Even for small reasons, they are not very socially amicable because of very poor sleep. That we find. And this is something which we all know. Children should always be encouraged to study early morning. That habit has to come rather than staying awake late night and going to bed, because that can also impact memory, analytical thinking, and creativity, as we have seen before. So the side you're not sleeping well. So I was telling about sleep deprivation being a major concern in India, second to Japan globally. So that sleep deprivation is purely because at the right time, sleep issue has not been addressed properly. If that is addressed properly, if that is attended, or if that is attended on a priority basis. As I said before, if workaholism takes the center stage, then sleep will definitely take a beating. So that habit has to be avoided. So they feel cranky, moody, all we have seen people, and this sleep deprivation or not getting proper sleep, not attending to quality of sleep is the main reason we find many people suffering from tension headache or vascular headache, as I was telling. This book we have seen, there are people who, there is a saying in Tamil, no? But here, I just saw a picture where a person who is told to sleep, change his position during sleep, he doesn't care, he continues to sleep. There is no change in the flow of his sleep. Just like children, children who are, there is always a saying, sleep like a baby. I wanted to put that quote here, but that could not be used here because there was another rebuttal for that. There was a person telling, you sleep with the baby and then tell me whether you get good sleep. Because children can be the other way also. But what I am trying to show here is, a person should sleep so well that he is not affected, at least anything alarming, unless anything alarming happens, he is not affected by anything happening around him. The way to a more productive, more inspired, more joyful sleep is getting enough sleep. So we know that blood pressure is definitely blood pressure can rise if sleep is affected. But I just said just now that blood sugar can also shoot up if sleep is not good. There are certain types of diabetes. In Ayurvedic sense, pitta-based diabetes patients will have very poor sleep. That will be the main cause for their sleep to be affected. We find young working professionals who are working in night shifts or non-regular shifts. They lose their sleep. This week they work from 9 to 6. Next week they will be working from 6 to 9. So what happens? The sleep cycle goes for a toss. The biological clock is not stable. So that impacts them more. And even if they decide to sleep, we have heard about patients who are not working on Saturdays and Sundays. They are working on Monday to Friday, but still not able to sleep on Saturday and Sunday. They decide to sleep, but they are not able to sleep. Instead, they go out and they just go for some relaxation mode, going to sports activities. So that's the kind of impact it has. Finish each day being the next, and interpose a solid wall of sleep between the two. So this is a very valid statement. It should be a solid sleep. Begin each day like a new life. And if you have to begin a new life every day, a better sleep, a good quality sleep is definitely required before that. So here we have just summed up some tips for better sleep. So these first 2 points you all know. Caffeine. People are not able to come out of caffeine. That kind of, at one stage, dependence becomes addiction. So people are addicted to coffee to the extent that even if sleep is an issue for them, they are not able to ready to give up coffee. So caffeine is such a dangerous thing. And so keep your room cool and quiet. Okay, these are all we are trying to do. So one simple habit which we all should tell people here, you will be knowing, but for the next generation, no child or no people in their teens and young adults, they are applying hair oil or applying oil on the scalp. They say it looks very jelly, it looks like I am an old-fashioned guy. So that's what they say. It's not just for hair maintenance or preventing hair loss or dandruff. Applying it ensures that your nerve centers are kept healthy and your sleep is also of good quality. If not, at that time, for future, your sleep qualities will be very good if you have this habit of applying hair oil every day. Finish each day. So this we have already seen this quote. So bedtime routine matters. It is a common experience that a problem difficult at night is resolved in the morning after the commitment of sleep has worked on it. And this we would have experienced ourselves. Suppose we want to buy something, but we are in two minds. We don't want to invest on that. What we will do? We will keep procrastinating it, we will keep postponing it for some time. And not only that, for anything for that matter, any decision for that matter, we will say, we will sleep tonight and tomorrow morning let us decide. Because sleep gives that clarity. Once you get sleep, a good quality sleep, the next day you will be fresh and you will have a different perspective altogether. So it can impact in that positive way. So start winding down an hour before bed. Avoid noise and bright lights. Try reading, deep breathing or light stretching. Okay, on a comical note, what I wanted was, if you all don't sleep now, that is an inspiration for me. But if you we are going to upload this video on YouTube anytime soon, and you can hear this video and sleep at home. That is also job done for me. Okay, that's one thing. And one more thing, we have heard about people telling you listen to these melodies, you listen to flute, you listen to piano, soft sleep music. But people find that also tough. That also is not helping them. And I just tell them, okay, what was the subject which made you go into deep sleep in your school days? The first, most common answer was geography, and next was inorganic chemistry. So we can go for something like that. You can listen to some class in low voice. And earlier we had this program, Viral World. That also you can listen, put it in slow mode, and you can experience the sleep you get after. Because see, what is sleep? Anything which is going around you, first you have to lose contact with it. You should say, this is of no importance to me. Why should I think about it? You don't do it voluntarily, your mind automatically thinks it. And then you go to sleep mode. That's how it happens. In class, why people sleep in class? Why? Because they don't have any attachment towards the subject. They don't see anything exciting about it. But on the contrary, it doesn't mean that any person who is happy will sleep. Any person who is happy too much will also not sleep. Imagine a boy getting IIT. Yesterday it was over, advanced IIT exam. So if they score already a rank 1 or they can get a very good premium institute. Will they be able to sleep that night? No. Because there is a beyond, it has reached the higher level of excitement. That also will not give. So the mind has to basically calm down. So now comes the three modes of treatment which we do for sleep loss. So very simple. When you how does a child sleep? A child sleeps by just hearing a lullaby from a mother. When the mother sings or just makes some soft, just pats on the back, just the child sleeps. But that won't work out for a person who is grown up. I mean, even if say about 10-year-old or a 15-year-old child, a 12-year-old child, the method can be a bit different. You have to do some massage over the scalp to induce sleep. So as it goes on, there are three different modes. For some minor versions of sleep issues, simple Ayurvedic Abhyanga we say, the body massage or head massage. Head massage is very good, people have experienced it themselves. That will be helpful for them. But for advanced patients, for chronic case of sleep loss, we do give some internal medicines. In fact, one of our research products is going to come in the market very soon, which is working out very well for sleep loss and even which is also working out very well for mood disorders and anxiety neurosis and certain types of maniac phase, bipolar tendencies, that certain aggression. For them, regular use of the tablet, it's not a very harmful tablet. In fact, it doesn't cause any excessive sleep. Why I'm talking about it is because usually sleep-related treatment, always people think it will have side effects, it will impact the next day's routine, people will get hangover, people will get the impact of the previous day's tablet. But it's not the case. It can be made specific for that time also. So the third picture, we say there is Shirodhara, you would have seen everywhere. Ayurveda means only this picture you will see everywhere. So that is nothing but pouring oil or any other liquid over this space between the two eyebrows and the entire forehead in a synchronized manner. So here there are two different things to be known, to be understood. One is, as a therapy, the touch is happening over, we say, Varma, we say Varma, it's a Varma. So that is working over those points. And secondly, the choice of medicine. So the choice of medicine is not universal, it is very specific. For a person with mental disturbance, it is different. For a person with skin disease, it's different. For diabetics, we can have a different medicine. For sleep loss, in different presentations. The medicine's choice are different. But the science behind is not much known, but we just want to give an intro for that. That's why I think the point, making this point here. So final thoughts. Make sleep a priority. Just like make health a priority, make sleep a priority. So that is very important. So to achieve the impossible dream, try going to sleep. Join Kempner. So we are coming to the end of this talk, and I want to make it more interactive. And if at all you have any questions, you can ask, so that will encourage me to delve deep into the subject and give you better solutions also. And we are giving you a form, column, which you need to fill your name and WhatsApp number. And we will be sending you a sleep questionnaire. You can fill that questionnaire and send back to us. And we will also be sending some health tips in future to WhatsApp, which will be useful. You can save our number also. So thank you all for your patient listening. I hope at least 90% of the audience did sleep today during the talk. Anyway. So over to you. If at all your questions, you can try to answer.
When you say sleep, even the daytime sleep is okay?
Yeah. It's a very important question, sir. So day sleep is not discussed here, but to keep it brief, day sleep is good for people, young children and elderly above the age of 55-60. But in the middle range, there is always a restriction. Better not to sleep during the day. If at all they get sleep, better to sleep on a chair, a comfortable chair, rather than lying down. Because people who have physically who strain a lot, they may need sleep during the day. And more importantly, people who didn't sleep for some reason previous night, they can take say about half of the time they lost during the day. Or suppose they slept 1.5 hours less during the night, they can sleep for 40 minutes during the day. But in this position, and better not to sleep after meal, better to sleep before meal and then after meal. So that because that sleep is the priority, and then turning to the food requirement. And next point here is day sleep is not recommended for people these days, more importantly because though they may go for a walk during the daytime, in the morning or the evening, they may have some activity, they may do some physical exercise, anything that matter. But majority of the daytime in their profession, they are glued to the seat, sitting in a seat and working, being steady in that position is 70% similar to day sleep. And we have to understand. Day sleep is something which can increase lipids, it can put down liver activity, it can also increase cholesterol, it can increase blood sugar for certain types of body constitutions. Why I was telling about the sleep questionnaire, because there we have given some basic points where your type of sleep issue may be different for different people. So based on your body type, prakriti, we say it is different. So if you are interested, you can also message me whether you want to know your prakriti. We can send that questionnaire also. You can fill and send back to us. So day sleep is something which is to be avoided for majority of the year, except summer. And if you are at home, if your age is not in the age which I mentioned, if it is between 15 to 55 or 60, better to avoid day sleep. If at all you need rest, just sit on a chair, just relax for a while. Now, I just want to ask this question to start with, but just now I got reminded. So, what do you think is deep sleep? Getting dreams is deep sleep? Deep sleep? Or what do you think? You can just use this mic and answer.
Yeah, getting good dreams is a deep sleep.
Yeah, so any other opinion about that?
When I wake up in the morning, I feel fresh.
When we get up in the morning, we feel so fresh, and throughout the day, we feel so active and energetic. So you know you had a good sleep last night.
Okay, so that's a good sign of quality sleep. Okay.
I feel you sleep without dreams.
Okay, so yeah, you made the point. Yeah. Any other?
Without dreams, it's very good.
Exactly.
Deep sleep.
Exactly.
What I feel.
Correct. Right. Okay.
It depends what kind of dream you are making. It is a pleasant or it is what kind of dream you are
Yeah. So my question was, you say quality sleep. When deep sleep means getting dreams or without dreams, which is called deep sleep.
Without dreams.
Good. Okay. So I'll tell about that. So I was telling about this, sleeping during the class, right? So if you remember it, I don't know when was the last time you slept during the class, because you are many years back. But the thing is, when you wake up from the sleep during the class, you will realize that you didn't have a dream. You won't get a dream. You just would have gone into some trance mode, or you would have lost. You would have gone into a different world and you would have come back. You would have slept for 10-15 minutes sometimes, but you feel you have gone into a deep sleep. And at that stage, you would not have dreamt anything. So what it means here is the mind is actually going into rest mode. While being awake, the mind is active. In the sleeping stage, the mind is not very active, but the impressions of the mind are making us dream during the sleep. Even though muscles are put to rest, then the sleep is deep. So while waking up, you feel fresh. The quality of sleep is very good. Many people confuse this with spiritual achievement, but it is not spiritual achievement also. Deep sleep. That is just something which you are getting into darkness without realization, but that's still for this world, physical world, and for physical and mental health, this deep sleep will do a lot of good. The thing about dreams is whether it's a good dream or a bad dream. A good dream definitely will motivate us, but a bad dream will impact us. We may think, if it happens, what will be our fate? So the mind gets disturbed. So only if our dreams are limited, or if there is no dream, then that is called deep sleep. So that we need to understand, but not aim for it, but how it happens. We have to withdraw ourselves from too much thinking and just start doing breathing exercises 1 hour before sleep at night. We start doing deep breathing exercise. Just observe your breath. Don't need to do any special breathing exercise. Just observe your breath. So just observe your breath. No need to take a deep inspiration or deep expiration. Just observe. We call it as pranarikshan. So when you observe your breath, that itself will make you feel a lot relaxed. And then, because our thoughts are nothing but they are born out of our breath. When you hold your breath, your thoughts will also stop. So when breath is regulated, our thoughts will also get regulated. And in course of time, by this practice, we all will get very limited dreams. The dreams will also be not very disturbing. So deep sleep is possible, and deep sleep is something which is free of dreams, which is going to give us quality sleep. Anything else you want to ask? You can ask. Yeah. Quality sleep. Some of the tips we have shown here, that is applying oil in the scalp, drinking lukewarm milk, avoiding spicy stuff, especially if we are having gastritis, acidity issues, better to avoid masala items in the evening and take a late early dinner. And the questionnaire we have given, the questionnaire contains tips for better sleep based on your prakriti or constitution. So based on your pattern of sleep issues or trouble, you can follow those points. For example, I am telling, suppose you are hyperacidic ulcer patient, you have too much of heat issues, heat boils, you cannot withstand, even fan is not going to help you during summer, so you need a very cool environment, otherwise you cannot sleep. So these people can go for some pitta reducing habits, like taking vetiver water, including more of nalikai, gooseberry based recipes like pachadi or nalikai rice or something like that, just for example. And for people who are having a very unpredictable sleep pattern, they go into sleep very fast, but they get disturbed very easily also. And mostly we find them that the eyes will be half open when they are sleeping. So that is one type of sleep disturbance mostly. For them, this oil application will be of more help for them. Applying oil below under the sole of the feet, over the soles of the feet, and then behind the ears. For them, this will be helpful. For type of constitution, based on that, based on the sleep disturbance, we can give a specific remedy for that.
My question is, how to assess that I had a good sleep?
Yeah, sleep. If next day morning, if you feel fresh, if you will yourself know that I had quality sleep yesterday, you are the better person to judge the sleep. See, people around you may be telling that you are snoring a lot, but that doesn't mean that you are slept well. So you may be what you call, you may be conscious about what is happening around you. If you are conscious about what is happening around you, it's not good sleep.
Person who is snoring more,
yeah, it not necessarily mean it is deep sleep. People say it is deep sleep, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. That is another thing to be addressed also. The snoring issue is to be addressed, mostly related to cardiac or respiratory system. It has to be addressed. And obesity is the main reason people say snoring is because of obesity, but even lean people are also snoring. So that the cause is mostly related to some sleep apnea problem or something which is unattended, some issue related to respiratory system. Otherwise, if you feel clear in the next day morning when you wake up, if you don't have body pain, if you are energetic, if you are excited about what is going to happen during the day, if you are enthusiastic, and your appetite is very good, your morning bowel movements are normal, and your breathing pattern is also very good, and headache is not there. Because if sleep is disturbed, definitely body pain and headache will be there next to it. That we can find.
I know that you have deep sleep. How can I get?
If you didn't have dreams, if you didn't know that, after waking up you will say, I get into very deep mode. I didn't know what happened around me. I didn't know where I was. That means you have to have deep sleep. You won't be able to say any dream also. That is called deep sleep.
Age factor also counts. After
Yeah.
70, I was able to sleep. After 70, I had trouble.
Yeah, this is very common in old age. Sleep loss is common in old age. For that, we have to exactly address. This is a Vata type of sleep disturbance, which is there in the question. You can see that this oil application, consuming ashwagandha with milk. So these things will help you in.
Which type of medicine you have allopathy, Ayurvedic, Homeopathy?
No, I will recommend Ayurvedic, being an Ayurvedic doctor. So, Ayurvedic medicines will help in this in the long run. Why? Because we address the root cause. See, in Ayurveda, you would have seen a lot of ads these days, people know. Across the internet, you find ashwagandha, brahmi, so many herbs are there, popular. But if you ask for old age, proven result, if you ask me, for people who have thought flow, some people can't sleep because thoughts keep coming. Some people, they don't have thoughts, they are happy to go into sleep mode, but still they are not able to sleep. For them, the approach is different. So for them, the touch therapy will be of more importance. Using this Dara therapy and then application of hair oil, applying oil below the feet, under the feet. All these things will help for them. For people who have thoughts, uncontrollable thoughts, randomly will come. We find this sleep issue very common for people who are in this accounts department, strategic departments, auditors. These people, because something keeps coming. Even if they want to come out of it, they keep thinking about it, what to do next day. Some planning will go on. So for them, it's a very big challenge, and they need to take internal medicine also. We need more stronger medicines. Simple herbs will not be helpful, more stronger medicines. Even old age also, you may need a stronger medicine. Stronger in the sense, more concentrated medicine. It's not going to be having any side effects if used properly.
In Ayurveda, in Ayurvedic medicine, when you take, you put a lot of restrictions. Don't take milk, don't take curd, don't take oily things. But is it
for sleep, as I said, there is no restriction except for too much of spicy food stuff and this sour fermented food stuff. You can take milk, you can take buttermilk, you can take, if your bowels are normal, buttermilk suits you, you can take it. Curd, night you cannot take, but daytime you can take. In fact, I had a patient, it's not a patient exactly, she was not complaining, but it was an observation. A 10-year-old girl child, she was so fond of curd rice. The complaint her mother told was she sleeps at around 9 o'clock at night and she wakes up next morning at 12 p.m. It's not morning, 12 noon. So you just imagine about 15 hours of sleep. Then I asked her habit. She was taking curd rice very often, not much vegetables, and the side dish for curd rice was curd itself. Because curd is such a, if curd is not very sour, especially if curd is prepared from buffalo milk, this high fat milk from Avin, that is buffalo milk, buffalo curd, that is very good sleep generating. If you have good digestion, if you take it, sleep is assured for you.
But that should be taken only in the daytime.
Yeah, in the daytime. Nighttime you can take buffalo milk.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have asked them the curd.
Curd daytime only. Because curd, even for a normal person, the restriction is there during the night time. Nobody follows it. But why we say is curd, curd while consuming it, even if it is not sour taste, புளிப்பு இல்லாம இருந்தாலும் digest ஆனதுக்கு புளிப்பா மாறிடும். So midnightல வந்து புளிப்பு எடுத்துக்க வாய்ப்பு. That reflex can happen because of sour after we say post digestive taste that can happen. That's why we restrict its use. And it is heavy to digest. Curd is heavy to digest. Anything which is heavy to digest that can help in better sleep, especially if it is well promoting. We have heard about a lot of jokes, that Pongal stuff, that is because Pongal is a mix of, actually Pongal is to be prepared from raw rice and this moong dal. If you use less of pepper, definitely it will be heavy and it will cause dullness and sleep. Pepper is meant to improve the digestion and absorption further. That's why the heaviness can come down a bit. But yeah.
For some people, taking curd helps the night sleep. For some people.
Yeah, see, there is something called satmya. Satmya means something habituated, which is suitable for them. They have used it for over a lot of years. That means it's not going to harm them. But see, if they are used to it, if their normal sleep, bowel, digestion are normal, they can continue doing it. But somebody who is not used to it cannot start it and adhere to it, because it's something which, especially anything new, cannot be brought into day-to-day life after the age of 50. It's very tough to get habituated to it. As long as you are at Pitta age. Pitta age is from 25 to 50. The body can still, but at the same time in Pitta age, extreme things can also be not brought into regularity, because Pitta will make the person very sensitive also. So for example, a person who has not done any sports activity or any big thing, if he starts too much of workout in that middle age, we have seen a lot of examples. Middle age, somebody exerts beyond the limit, they have collapse also. These things also we have seen, because Pitta age is very critical for avoiding sensitive things, adhering to something which is suitable for us, and then because Pitta will take care of digestion. Even if you make some changes in the diet, it will take care of digestion. But other things we have to be very careful.
What type of food we have to avoid during dinner time for a better sleep?
Spicy foodstuff, sour foodstuff, tomato, tamarind, these things should be avoided. And then too much of oily food also should be avoided. Masala items should be avoided. See, what happens is we go for a marriage party or something, and we take food. We find certain people in a family, 4 people go. One of them, 1 or 2 will be affected. They won't be able to sleep that night properly. They will have gastric disturbance, or even they won't have any other. Simply they can't sleep. The digestion will be okay, but still they can't sleep. Outwardly, the digestion will not show any symptom. But as long as that food remains in the stomach, the sleep will not be broken. So we need to be very much, as I said, sleep is our priority, and what is suitable for us, what is not suitable for us. Knowing it, that is the biggest knowledge. As far as health is concerned, that is the best knowledge a person can have. To assess something which is good for us and to leave something which is not good for us.
Doctor, there are many people who say 5 hours of good sleep is more than enough. On the other side, people say minimum 8 hours sleep is required. And which is the right balance?
On an average, if you consider all the 3 constitutions put together, I think 5 hours is not sufficient. Better to go for at least 6 to 7 hours minimum. Maximum is something which is based on the age. As I said, old age people and younger children, they can go for even 9 hours, 10 hours, sometimes. But better to go for 6 to 7 hours minimum. In working age, if you are able to, if you are doing a lot of brain work, you have to do a lot of analytical thinking and strategizing, everything. You need at least 8 hours of sleep at night, because these things will consume the brain. These kinds of tasks will consume the brain. Better to go for sleep at least 8 hours for these people.
I want to ask one thing. எனக்கு வந்து யூசுவலா knee pain இருக்கும்.
Okay.
But when நான் நல்ல ஒரு 8 hours தூங்கினா அந்த knee pain சரியாயிடும். ஏதா கனெக்ஷன் இருக்கா? Sleep
Absolutely, there is connection. Pain is because of Vadam. And sleep, if it is done properly, Vadam is controlled and your pain goes up. So that is one thing. But at the same time, if there is pain, sleep is not there. I forgot to mention that point. Apart from digestive issues, people who are suffering from severe itching, especially old age people, they have dry skin, they can lose sleep because of itch, generalized itching. People who have pain, especially bone pain, severe degeneration, they don't get good sleep. So, physical problems can manifest as sleep disturbance. So, if we give medicine for sleep, they won't get good sleep. Only if the root cause is addressed, if digestion is addressed, if pain, Vadam is addressed, then the sleep will automatically become normal. So, question was correct.
At what time should we have dinner for good night's sleep?
Better to have, actually, the advice is to avoid food after sunset. But practically it's not possible. Even if you are taking food after sunset, make it very lighter. See, if you are pitta type of person, suppose there are people who get hunger every 2 hours. They are pitta type of body. So they cannot take a light meal. But if they take 7 o'clock light meal, by 10 o'clock they feel hungry again, they will lose their sleep. So what they should do is have light meal at 7, take very lukewarm milk with, if you are not diabetic, with palm sugar at bedtime and go for sleep. Or just plain milk without any sweetener, go for sleep. That's all. So that your stomach is also attended and your sleep is also not disturbed.
Dinner should be light compared to.
Yeah, always dinner should be later. Because, see, in the early days, people used to have direct meal before 12 p.m. and dinner before 6 p.m. The dinner, even before 6 p.m., was not heavier, it was lighter. Now, because as age goes on, as next generation, the metabolism reaction is not that great, better to go for a lighter dinner, especially after sunset, it has to be lighter. Yeah.
I'm told by my wife, I'm getting good sleep. I go to bed by 10. By around 2:30, I go to bed by 10.
Okay.
I get up by 2:30 or 3. So after that, my wife says that I am got a good sleep between 10 to 2 or 3. Then after that, I am finding it difficult to continue my sleep. I do yoga, I do go for walk. Still, I think I am not getting the sleep, the full time sleep.
So, what you are telling is exactly Vata type of sleep problem. If people go to sleep at 10 o'clock, they sleep. But by midnight, 12:30, they wake up 1 o'clock, 12:30. From that time to 3 o'clock, they won't be sleeping. So that is Pitta problem, Pitta related sleep problem. For you, after 3 until early morning, you don't not really sleep. That is Vata type of. That is because either subconsciously your mind is still active. Not subconsciously, middle level of consciousness, you are active, thoughts are still continuing, or you should have some physical problem like pain or something which is disturbing you, Vata is disturbing you, or it can be some deeper Vata problem. If it is addressed, it can be corrected. If you, we have to just take a full history and what type of Vata is involved, we have to see what other associated Vata problem you have. That we have to see, then the sleep can be resolved. Because 10 to 3 is not sufficient. If you don't mind your age, sir.
I am 70 years old.
So you need at least 7 hours of sleep. At least. You should sleep from 10 to 5.
Sometimes I used to sleep in the daytime.
Daytime you sleep. See, for daytime if you sleep, that doesn't mean that my nighttime sleep can be shorter. You can have the converse. You can shorten your daytime sleep if you can. But nighttime sleep, no compromise.
Extension of this question. Some people can do with 5 hours of sleep, some people can do with 6 hours of sleep. Is it true? Or everyone needs 7 hours of sleep? Or 7 plus hours?
No, that's what a person who is comfort type of constitution, comfort body, he can manage with 5 hours of sleep. But a person with Vata constitution, he cannot manage. He needs more time. For Pitta, it is moderate. He can manage to some extent, but not beyond the limit. This tolerance, withstanding capacity, that is more for comfort type of body, for comfort constitution. So they can manage for some. But people who are Vata and Pitta, if they consume more of dry food items, deep fried, spicy food stuff, activities, all further provoking these Vata problems, then they cannot withstand. They can even withstand 6 hours of gravity more. So it's based on history and associated other lifestyle factors.
Only for 3-4 people are only, asking doubts. The other people, I hope they are sleeping well.
That 3-4 people we are clearing out also.
So each one has got a specific problems, no? You can get it clarified.
No, if they are already sleeping well, then I think they are.
Either they're sleeping well or slept here.
As far as I know, I don't think they're sleeping anyway.
Sir, some say early morning you have to wake up and read books, or it's good to activate your.
That's what I was mentioning, yeah.
But on the other side, some are getting very good sleep only in the early morning. So, is it better to go ahead with their flow and wake up at 7:30 or so, or you have to cut down and change the?
They have to change. Change for better change. They have to go for. They should initiate healthy sleep from as soon as they go to bed. They should initiate better sleep, and then towards morning, better they wake up by 5:30 or before 6.
Sir, please explain about the rotary.
Snoring.
So the snoring is because the particular nasal area, there is one connection between the nasal area and the throat. In that area, there is a flap which starts vibrating while the people go to sleep. So that is something related to respiratory system. So that can be impacted. That is a kind of growth. That growth can be due to obesity most often, or it can be an indicator of some underlying problem related to the cardiovascular system also. So that has to be ruled out, and then if it's a respiratory problem, that has to be addressed. It can also be corrected by a procedure called NSIM, nasal medication. It's a therapy. So that we have to find out the root cause and give the medicine and then rectify it. Quarantine, it is not. People say it is not curable. People say it can be reduced. People say it is not a problem for the person who is snoring, it is for people around. They lose their sleep. What I say, if the quarantine is not able to make you sleep, your sleep is also to be corrected. Because your sleep should be so good that any sound is not impacting. You leave any big sound, it's not a big construction or anything, aeroplane nearby. It's just a snoring thing, okay, understand. But still, your sleep quality also needs to be addressed. People around that sleep quality also needs to be addressed.
Any better sleeping positions? Because they say you should not, you should always sleep in the side position, not on the right side.
So, see, when we should never sleep immediately after meal time. So, after, say, at least 45 minutes, we go to bed. People say to sleep to the left. You have to sleep to the left. Turn to the left side and sleep. Yeah, that is favoring the path of food to the digestive tract.
All the time you cannot sleep.
Yeah. Once the initial phase is crossed, you can, anyway, without your knowledge, you will be changing position. So, better not to avoid, whatever to avoid is prone position. Avoid prone. We all are using mobile phones. Mobile phones are affecting our spondylosis issues are coming more than computer usage. Mobile phones are causing spondylosis in very young children. Because children are given mobile phones these days. They get spondylosis by the age of 15 also. So they should, but all people should avoid sleeping in this position. But only that is giving deep sleep for many people, actually. people who are deep sleep, they say they go to that position. But it is not much desired because only for this reason. Otherwise, it's not a big issue.
Once we wake up at that time, every 1 to 2 hours, my sleep is disturbed. Okay. Oh, the continuous sleep is not there.
You just fill up that questionnaire, sir. I will come up with a solution for you. We have taken your number. You also note down this number and just save my number, and I will be sending a message to you. And you fill that questionnaire, the form. Based on your pattern of sleep issue, we will suggest a solution for it. Because this frequent disturbance, again, that is also a Vada-related problem. And even I just want to ask whether those 2 hours you are sleeping very well, whether it is deep or it is.
2 hours I sleep well, then there is a disturbance. Again I start sleeping another 2 hours. Okay. And again, so the continuous sleep is not.
That can be achieved, sir. Can be achieved. Maybe your lifestyle, your occupation, earlier what was your lifestyle you have taken? Maybe that's the reason. That is showing some remnant effect on you now. Probably.
So one is living next to your this one.
Oh.
You can directly come and
Yes, sir. For younger people, it's advisable. It's fine, sir. For people above the age of 60, 65, they can sleep during the day.
Usually, working still we are going to bed at night 11 o'clock. After that, we got sleep. After that, we got sleep. Around midnight or early morning, 3 o'clock, 3:30, we wake up. Once wake up. After that, we are not going to sleep. We go to bed, but thinkings are there. A lot of thinkings continuously coming. Not going to sleep again. Okay.
Yeah, that's thought flow has to be regulated, for which you need some treatment for it. Because what's your age, sir?
I'm 50.
If you attend to it now, you will have a very peaceful, healthy old age. Because sleep is, see, when we are having digestive problem, I repeat this statement, when we are having digestive problem, when we have some physical problem, not able to walk freely, not able to lift my hand, we all attend to it immediately. But when you have sleep issue, we just say, okay, it will get automatically corrected, or we just don't take it much seriously, many of us. So problems, all chronic problems are because of this negligence. If you address it, you can correct it. Not a problem.
Doctor, one question. You said that after meal you should go to bed after 45 minutes. But whenever I eat to the brim, I used to sleep immediately.
No, there has to be change.
Esophagus கூட flip பண்ணி வெச்சோம்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்களேன். தண்ணி குடிக்கிறதுக்கே இடம் இருக்காது. உடனே ட்ரோசி ஆகி அப்படியே தூங்கிடலாம்.
No. See, if you are doing it for getting sleep, then we have other ways of doing it.
No, it's not for getting sleep.
Okay.
The other way I'm saying, when I eat full, I will not give that 15 minutes also, even 5 minutes also. Immediately.
It's not a good thing, sir. You have to stop it. You have to change.
Inducement of alcohol in sleep. You can say about this since it is rotary.
I will say self-generated Ayurvedic medicinal alcohol. We have a lot of medicines for that. We have medicines lab for that.
That's not good.
Let's now keep the question.
தயிர் ஜாம் தான் சாப்பிடுவேன் சார் கேர்டு சாப்பிடக்கூடாது ராத்திரி தயிர் ஜாம் நல்ல ஃபுல்லாக தயிர் சாதம் சாப்பிட்டு தூக்குவார் அதான் நாங்கள் போய் சொல்லுவோம் அப்படி தயிர் சாதம் கேர்டு ரைஸ் தான்
தூக்கத்துக்காக மட்டும் இல்லை, சாப்பிட்ட உடனே தூங்கக்கூடாது. சாப்பிட்டு கொஞ்சம் கேப் தான் தூங்கும். இல்லை டிவி அது 1 மணி நேரம் தூங்குறதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஸ்கிரீன் டைம். See, whatever I am telling, it is very difficult for young people or people who are in the working class, but for you it is very easy to follow. So I think most of the things which we have discussed here, you can follow and implement it. Yeah, the same, the questionnaire will have everything, sir. We'll give it. In fact, I wanted to give the physical copy, but I thought this will be with you as a record. You can see it anytime. So thanks a lot again for your active participation.
Thank you, Doctor, for a very interactive session. I request our President Rotarian Manaja and Dr. Irlandi and Rotarian Harisharan to honor our speaker with a shot. And we also would like to thank our Rotarian Lata for hosting us, and also with this session and with the speaker. I request President to honor her. And we also would like to honor one of our member who has recently contributed very generously to our Rotary Society of over 5,000 USD dollars over a period of time for the good cause, and we would like to appreciate this time, and I request Rotarian Harisharan to take this honor, and I request Rotarian Lata, who is our TRF chairperson. I request Dr. Irlandi also to please join.
As annual fund chair.
Thank you so much for joining us. We have a small refreshment. Please feel free to take us. And thanks to each one of you for taking part in this session on behalf of all the Rotary Club of Chennai, Safias. Thank you so much.
No.